Dr. Stephanie, and I'm a physical therapist. And if you have stiff or tight ankles, or maybe you just feel like you don't have the full mobility in your ankle, I'm going to show you 5 exercises you can do to loosen up those ankles, to decrease any stiffness or pain you're having, and to prevent injury. Because if your ankles are stiff and tight, that puts more stress on your knees and your hips and even your back when you walk around, so you're more likely to have pain in those places. So we're going to start on the floor, and you're going to be in a half kneeling position like this, one knee on the floor, one foot on the floor in front of you, and you want your ankle to be right below your knee. What we're going to do is keep your heel on the floor, that's very important, and push that knee forward as far as you can comfortably. So we're creating this angle right here. This starts at a 90-degree angle at our ankle, and then we push our knee forward and make that a smaller angle here. And you want to push that knee forward as far as you can while keeping that heel on the ground, and then just pause for a couple seconds here. You can hold for longer if you want to, but you don't really need to. And then come back and do that again. And you want to repeat that about 10 or 15 times, really to kind of loosen up that ankle, especially the back of the ankle here. And that can help improve that mobility, which can actually help with your walking or running as well. Then you'll repeat the same thing on the other side. Even if you don't have stiffness or tightness on the other side, maybe just on one side, I would still recommend doing both, just to keep those ankles nice and mobile. So again, keep that heel on the ground, push your knee forward 10 or 15 times, and that'll really kind of loosen that up. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to stay in this position and actually do a little bit of movement. And for this one, if you need to hold on to something, you can. You're just going to lift your heel off the ground and then bring it back down. So it's kind of like a kneeling calf raise. So we're actually working the soleus muscle, which is one of the calf muscles kind of lower down in the back of your lower leg, and we're just lifting and coming back down. So working on some strengthening actually helps with mobility as well. And this you want to do 10 or 15 times to start, and then you can actually repeat that, so you do 2 sets of that. And then you'll do the same thing on the opposite side. I just like to alternate mobility and movement with strength, because then we're really working on both, and we're loosening up that joint. So again, 10 or 15 times, and then you can repeat that if you want to. All right, next we're going to stand up. And what you're going to do is come up on your toes. So lift your heels off the ground, and you're just going to walk in this position. So this, we're also working on mobility and strength. If you have any weakness or you have trouble walking like that, then you can start with just doing a calf raise, just coming up on your toes and back down, and then you want to work into doing the walk on your toes. You also want to make sure that your feet stay straight, so you don't want, when you walk, you don't want your heels to be coming out to the side or coming together. You want to keep them straight and just walk in a straight line like this. You can go nice and slow. I usually say go for about a minute, and then you can repeat that if you want to. Then for the next one, we're going to come up and lift our toes up and walk on our heels, just like this. And same thing, if that is too difficult or you have a hard time, you can start by just standing, lifting your toes up and bringing them back down. So that's working on some dorsiflexion, which dorsiflexion is where you bring your toes back towards you. That's working on strength and mobility in that position. So again, just for a minute, walk on your heels. I'm doing this in socks, and it's actually better to do it in socks or bare feet because then you have more motion. The shoes aren't restricting your motion. But sometimes walking on your heels can cause a little bit of discomfort. So you can try with shoes that aren't too stiff, or you can try doing it on a softer surface. Maybe have a thicker mat or carpet or something. Just not something super hard. So again, yep, just walking on your heels. All right, exercise number 5. You're gonna find a wall. You're gonna sit against the wall, come down into a wall sit. The goal is to be be all the way down at 90 degrees. If you can't go that low, that's okay. You can come up a little higher. And what you're gonna do is just lift your heels off the ground and back down. So we're essentially doing a calf raise in this position. So lift those heels up and back down. You might want to take your socks off for this one, or have something grippy under, maybe wear grippy socks, something, because sometimes your feet slip if they're in socks. But we're just doing a calf raise, lifting those heels, coming back down. You want to do 10 or 15 reps, and then you can repeat that for another set if you feel ready for that. But all of those exercises are going to work on that ankle mobility, get those ankles moving, and make them a little bit stronger to get rid of any pain you're having in your ankles, but also to prevent it. And again, like I said, to prevent knee, hip, lower back pain as well. So try all of those and hope those make your ankles feel good.